Great. Well, let me tell you a little bit about this guy, A. Philip Randolph, okay? Back in 1919, right, a long time ago, almost 100 years ago, he was a pain in the government's butt, okay? He was an agitator, he was well organized, and what he did was he was trying to integrate the military. He was a big pro-union person, you know, trying to make sure workers had rights, especially African-American workers. And so President Woodrow Wilson, in his State of the Union address in 1919, he went on the radio and he called him out because he was a pain in the butt. He said, this guy, A. Philip Randolph, is the most dangerous Negro in America. The most dangerous Negro in America because he was organized, he was intellectual, you know, he was able to assemble large masses of people. They called him the most dangerous Negro in America, okay? Fast forwarded, March on Washington. Who led the March on Washington? Dangerous Negro?
No.
Sort of. The March on Washington was led by Dr. Martin Luther King, right? So Martin Luther King, J. Edgar Hoover, who was the head of the FBI at the time, had a vendetta against Dr. King. And so, you know, anything bad that he could say about him, you know, he made sure it was disseminated to the public, to government officials. He really hated this guy. And so Dr. King, after the March on Washington, J. Edgar Hoover had this field officer, William C. Sullivan. He was the head of the FBI's Domestic Intelligence Division. So William C. Sullivan, he had him write a memo, and William C. Sullivan knew this stuff was all lies, but J. Edgar Hoover put the pressure on him, and he writes up this memo, and he says that Dr. Martin Luther King is the most dangerous Negro in America. Same term, dangerous Negro. You know, and if you look at Black history, if you look at American history, you will see the term dangerous Negro applied to Black leaders who are capable of organizing, who are very intellectual and gifted. Dangerous Negro. And so we use that from that Black male studies class, and we were like, man, would it be dope if we had a clothing line called Dangerous Negro, right? It would get people's attention, but behind it, it has a powerful message. And so we decided to start this clothing company 2005 called Dangerous Negro, all right? People might have a little clothing line on the side, you know, you might, well, what is it that you want people to know you for? You know, it could be anything. You might be an artist, you might draw things, right? You might be a scientist, a mathematician, whatever it is. People should know you for being the best at that field. You know, this is called personal branding. What is your personal brand? What do you bring to the table? When people pass by you on campus and they walk by you, what is their first thought of you? Is that smart guy? Or is that good barber? What is it that they think about when they see you? You know, this is personal branding. You got to get that started right now in your early years in college. All right? And Martin Luther King, he said, a man should do his job so well that the living, the dead, and the unborn could do it no better. You know, it can be a difficult environment. What was the toughest thing you would say for you being at Cornell? The toughest thing that you had to deal with, and how did you overcome it, or are you still dealing with it? That's my question.
There's so many things.
Number one.
The number one thing I would have to say is the inconsistencies of the administration. You praise them. Yeah, a lot of people, I know, they try to tell you at Cornell, if you don't know somebody, ask somebody in the administration or go online. They're quick to tell you to go to the website, which is a very large website, and even asking them questions directly to receive 5 different answers from 5 different people does not help anyone, is not beneficial in any way, shape, or form. And that could be financial aid, that could be the bursar, that could be the registrar, that could be your dean, all of them. So it's really hard to give advice on what to do in that situation because these are the people we're supposed to ask the questions to, and most of them don't have the right answer, or they all don't have the same answer. So the best thing I would say do is try to get as many opinions as possible, and then try to connect the ones that are the most similar. You get what I'm saying?
Take a poll.
Exactly.
The most difficult thing being at Cornell is, well, right now you guys are freshmen, so you might not be as involved on campus. But definitely for me, it's balancing schoolwork on top of all the other things that I'm involved in. Before I was an RA, and I was the internal relations coordinator for Alana, and you know, and then I know, and last year I decided to get away from campus and I studied abroad and did a credit internship program. By the way, if you have a chance to do that, please do. Get away from campus, great way to apply what you've been learning all these years. But yeah, definitely like trying to manage my time and make sure that I'm covering as much school, covering my schoolwork, make sure that I'm getting that A reason I'm here, as well as you know, making sure that I'm fulfilling the needs of the Black community. Because there's so many things that, you know, we talk today, and you know, we constantly have seminars similar addressing the needs of the Black community. You know, trying to do this and be here and do that. It's a lot. It gets very overwhelming, but trying to prioritize is important. So.
And what Jason was saying, as well as Malik, it's kind of a balance. For me, the hardest thing here was finding that balance between academics and the social aspect, because it's real easy Thursday, Friday, Saturday, to go out to every single party that you hear about, but then you come back and remember, oh, I got a test on Tuesday. Especially those of you taking chemistry on Tuesday night, you're studying all day Monday, all day Tuesday for that one test, and you repeat the cycle the following week. So kind of trying to find that balance was always hard for me. It took me to my sophomore year to actually find like a balance between that and going to what I need to do and figure out what I actually need to do to get my most out of Cornell.